As a father-to-be, Leo, what do you make of the next story in the Daily Mail? Would you go along with your child being brainwashed?
No, because I'm going to homeschool my child.
Is that what you're going to do?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, unless that turns out to be quite difficult. But a mother is fighting for the legal right of parents to view their school lesson plans after being shocked about how her daughter spoke about white privilege and gender. So she fears her daughter was being indoctrinated and that white pupils are being told they're privileged simply because of their skin colour. But the teachers, the school, refused to show the lesson plans because they said they're commercially sensitive.
You know why they're refusing? It's because it's full of indoctrination.
It's full of,
that's what it is.
It's full of nonsense and indoctrination. So critical race theory and all of this. I mean, some of the details that came out. So the 13-year-olds in an art class were shown a violent image called Die, which pictured white and black people stabbing each other. I mean, this is great stuff to show to kids. And then told to make their own posters based on that. And this school, to be fair, so white people are at a minority at this school. Only 17% are white. Most of the 1,400 pupils are from an ethnic minority. It's in South East London. So, you know, by showing this inflammatory anti-white rhetoric, it's a dangerous thing. Could lead to kids being, you know, bullied or...
Well, the reason why we know that they will have been engaging this kind of critical race theory, queer theory, gender identity theory stuff is because it's a posh school. It's haberdashers.
Right.
So, and all the posh schools are at it. I mean, they really are. Like, you have like the head of Eton talking about how they need to decolonise the curriculum and address systemic racism and all the rest of it. So all of these, the more privileged schools are the ones that really are on board with these ideological things. And, it's actually potentially illegal. The Education Act is quite clear about this. You can't be politically partisan when it comes to teaching kids. And these are political movements. Diane, what do you think?
Well, I find it interesting that you can't see what your child is being taught. That, to me, seems very, 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 very bad.
Yes.
And what is also interesting is that a complaint from Mrs. Page was that her daughter had never been referred to by her race before 2020 when this happened.
No, that's right.
And you know what? I understand that. You see, I went to an all-girls school and it was, oh, she's good at maths, she's good at rugby, she's the funny one, she's this, she's that. That's it. But then it was only when, like, I got out into the wide world and suddenly people were like, oh, women can't do maths, women can't play rugby, women aren't... And it was like, what are you talking about? That's the biggest load of rubbish I've ever heard. And, like, I really feel for that girl because she's suddenly been made horrendously aware of something that is... that it's just part of her.
That's the damaging aspect of critical race theory. It re-racialises society.
Yeah.
And you end up with situations where kids are racially segregated, like at that school, the American school in London. They racially segregated kids for after-school activities. It takes all of the advances of the civil rights movements back a step.
And it
it's
splits
really
you
bad.
up with your mates.
Yeah.
It literally puts you apart from your friends.
So what do we do about it? I mean, like, Leo, you think homeschooling is... I mean, and by the way, I should say, because I've got old teacher friends who send me screenshots of the training sessions they have to go to. This stuff is rife.
Oh, and
wow.
it's insane. And Ofsted, instead of tackling it, are actually marking down schools that don't push gender ideology and other identitarian programmes.
It is a real problem.